Christopher Hitchens, God is Not Great, How Religion Poisons Everything. Embark on a thought-provoking journey with Christopher Hitchens' God is Not Great, How Religion Poisons Everything. This book summary delves into the problematic aspects of religious beliefs, from weak miracles to immorality, and reveals the link between religion and totalitarian regimes. Hitchens questions outdated religious practices and showcases the negative impact of religious intolerance on society. This summary will help you explore the ongoing struggle between rational and religious thought, and understand how embracing scientific principles can pave the way for progress.
Debunking miraculous claims. Jesus' healing of a blind man leads to the question, if he could cure one person, why not cure all blindness? The scrutiny of miracles ultimately reveals their weak foundations, exposing them as simple magic tricks or misconceptions of natural phenomena. Historically, people turn to religious explanations for events like natural disasters or solar eclipses due to a lack of scientific understanding. But with today's advanced knowledge, the idea of miracles has been relegated to society's fringes. Still, believers desperately cling to irrational claims, like seeing God's face in toast or bleeding statues, as they continue to seek confirmation of their faith, ignoring the reality that modern science has rendered such beliefs outdated and baseless. Debunking religion's moral superiority. Religions assert that they're responsible for morality, warning against rejecting their teachings. However, history shows religious doctrines spreading immoral teachings and endorsing inhumane practices like slavery, genocide, and rape. Followers have used these beliefs to justify atrocities and suppress dissenters. Furthermore, religions impose unrealistic commandments, like resisting natural biological urges. If we're God's creation, then our design flaws are His, punishing us for His own shortcomings. Eternal damnation for even minor offenses and thought crimes is unfair, instilling irreversible guilt and fear among believers. Religions often assert that they are responsible for instilling morality in society and that rejecting their teachings would result in chaos. However, a closer look reveals numerous immoral actions and attitudes endorsed by religious texts and doctrines. From promoting slavery, genocide, and rape to committing horrific acts in the name of their gods, religions have a dark history of spreading morally corrupt teachings. Furthermore, unrealistic and nearly impossible commandments are imposed, such as resisting natural biological urges relating to sex and sexuality. Believers face eternal damnation for even minor offenses or thought crimes, leading to a constant state of guilt and fear. Instead of illustrating a moral beacon, this arbitrary cruelty highlights the inherent contradictions and unfairness in religious teachings. The supposed morality that religions bring to society is in fact tainted with the infliction of punishment and suffering for human flaws that are depicted as God's own design. Totalitarianism and Religion. North Korea stands distinct as the only nation with a deceased leader, Kim Il-sung, who passed away in 1994. This exemplifies the nation's totalitarian regime, where citizens are compelled to worship and obey their supreme leader, much like in other totalitarian societies such as Stalinist Russia and Nazi Germany. The connection between totalitarianism and religion becomes more apparent with theocracies, where governments are intertwined with religious beliefs. History has witnessed the controlling and violent nature of theocracies that demand absolute obedience and pervasively regulate citizens' lives. The essence of religious belief is also inherently totalitarian, as devout believers seek constant supervision and judgment from their deity. These faithful followers unreservedly accept even the most irrational divine commands and the concept of eternal damnation. Unlike North Korea, where death may bring an end to the plight, religious belief suggests a perpetual state of suffering and submission even after death. Perplexing religious practices. Religious doctrine, despite its often rigid and outdated nature, continues to influence practices in today's world. This is evident when observing irrational traditions adhered to by believers, who unquestioningly follow them due to their steadfast faith. Society generally overlooks these peculiar behaviors, even when they pose potential danger. The circumcision of infant boys in Jewish and Muslim communities, for instance, would otherwise be deemed child abuse in the absence of religious context. Moreover, religious teachings can impose overwhelming emotional strain on children with concepts like hell and eternal damnation, leading to deep-seated fears and the ostracization of those with differing beliefs. Disturbingly, these acts and teachings are often protected by society and the law, merely because they are founded upon religious beliefs, allowing such harmful traditions to persist unchecked. The paradox of religious intolerance. Devout believers often profess that their faith brings happiness and peace. However, both history and current events reveal that religious individuals can be angry, intolerant, and violent, attempting to impose their beliefs on others. This behavior stems from the insecurity that arises when a religion's omnipotent God is challenged by alternative perspectives or faiths. This intolerance often results in conflicts between different religions and the persecution of heretics or non-believers. An example of this intolerance is the case of author Salman Rushdie, who faced a death threat from an Islamic ruler for writing a novel perceived as disrespectful to Islam. Although claiming to offer eternal bliss, religions often remain committed to asserting power in the present world. Pioneers of Freethinking. Today's freedom to pursue knowledge and express skepticism is a result of the courageous efforts of past individuals who dared to challenge established religious beliefs despite the risk of punishment. Many of these free thinkers, such as Socrates and Charles Darwin, have become renowned for their contributions in propelling doubt and critical thinking. While not necessarily atheists, these pioneers managed to loosen the grip of religious dogma, allowing the human mind to explore and understand the intricacies of the natural world. Consequently, we now enjoy the liberty of thought in a broader perspective, liberated from the constraints of once reigning religious dominance. Clashing worlds, science versus religion. In the ongoing clash between religion and science, both aim to unravel the mysteries of the natural world, but their methods and conclusions present a stark contrast. As scientific understanding has expanded, religious influence has consequently diminished in various aspects of modern society. Attempts by religious followers to resist this change can have unfortunate consequences, such as creationist groups pushing for outdated and debunked theories to be taught in schools. This resistance not only hinders progress but also perpetuates ignorance and intolerance. Additionally, some religious institutions refuse to embrace scientific solutions to real-world problems, like the Catholic Church's rejection of contraception to control the spread of AIDS. Despite science contributing to a wealthier, safer world, religion stubbornly persists in disputing its encroachment and the ensuing implications for the nature of truth and belief. Persisting power of religion. Though the modern world has seen countless scientific advancements, religion still holds a significant presence, mainly due to the primal fears and uncertainties faced by humans since ancient times. Our ancestors relied on faith to explain unanswerable questions and phenomena. Presently, questions and fears surrounding topics like death and the unknown keep religion relevant. Despite the progress made by free thinkers challenging religious beliefs over the years, the tension between rational and religious thought still exists. In order to foster an intellectually free society, we must continue to expose and question the fallacies and dogmas associated with religion, striving for progress through science and logical exploration.
In conclusion, Hitchens' God is Not Great exposes the problematic nature of religious beliefs and practices, highlighting their weak foundation on miracles and their promotion of immorality. The book suggests that religion is mostly a source of totalitarianism, irrational practices, and intolerance. Religion, despite its claims of being the bearer of morality, nurtures negative elements in our society. With the advances in scientific understanding, religion is increasingly becoming redundant. However, it seems unlikely for it to disappear completely, as it continues to exploit human fears and insecurities. The struggle for discerning the truth and the ultimate quest for rationality must continue, even when up against the enduring power of religious thought.